Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is really an unfortunate story, but today we're going to take a listen to Jonathan Majors in his first interview since that guilty verdict came down in his trial. And we're going to react to what Mr. Majors had to say in that misdemeanor reckless assault and harassment in the third-degree assault trial. Of course, the prosecution was working on behalf of his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Honestly, it's kind of difficult to say the words guilty verdict, knowing that these people were fighting over a cell phone, much like the one that Grace Jabari is holding in this photo. But they were fighting over a phone, of course, that didn't belong to her. It belonged to Jonathan Majors. And he seems to be a man that got caught up in a trick bag. I don't mean to be insensitive, but a man lost his career for the time being, at least, and he is not in the best of spirits. And this was really based on a tussle over his cell phone. Yeah, because Grace Jabari wanted to take control over it because he got a text message from another female. Of course, we can get into how people should behave in a relationship, but it's mighty strange that it's all come to this, especially after we all saw the footage of what happened on that given night. This is not about the history of abuse, physical abuse in their relationship. And apparently we're not supposed to believe our own eyes. But let's get into what Jonathan Majors had to say.
He was on his way to becoming one of Hollywood's brightest stars, with acclaim for his dramatic performances and a promising future as a Marvel villain. But now actor Jonathan Majors is facing the possibility of up to a year in jail. He sat down exclusively with me for his first interview since his arrest, discussing the relationship at the center of the trial, the role that he says race played, and why he didn't take the stand.
The actor, at times emotional.
Oh, sorry. You know, I haven't seen my daughter in a long time, you know, and a lot of it has to do with this situation. It all has to do with this situation, and she needs to see this, and the hard things need to be done. But it's been hard. Everything's kind of gone away.
The 34-year-old actor was a rising star, and it was on that movie set back in 2021 where he met 30-year-old British dancer Grace Jabari. The pair dated until March of 2023 when Majors called 911 the day after a fight that was caught on surveillance video.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious. She's my ex-partner. We broke up. I came back. She sent me text messages insinuating this much. I stayed in a hotel last night. I came home this morning.
Police found Jabari on the closet floor of their apartment. Majors was arrested by New York City police, accused by Jabari of assault, strangulation, and harassment, convicted last month, but acquitted of 1 count of assault and 1 count of aggravated harassment, meaning the jury didn't believe he assaulted her intentionally.
Your reaction to that verdict?
Shock. I was absolutely shocked and afraid. I'm standing there, and the verdict comes down. I say, how is that possible? Based off the evidence, based off the prosecution's evidence, let alone our evidence. How is that possible?
Majors was found not guilty of 2 other misdemeanors, assault with intent to cause physical injury and aggravated assault.
They're saying you didn't intend
Right.
to injure her,
Right.
but the result of your recklessness
Right.
injured her.
Right.
Were you reckless?
I was reckless with her heart,
Not with her body.
not with her body.
As far as running away when it got heated with the cell phone, he did the right thing. It's obvious that he was not intending to hurt this woman. They were not in a physical fight. It was a tussle over this phone that she felt that she needed to have. She went after this man. She was running at top speed for what she could do with the shoes that she was wearing. And then she returned back to their home. Someone that's been mishandled by a huge man like that, I can't imagine who would put themselves right back in harm's way. Some women have to return to a home because they share kids, or they just financially could never think of going to a hotel. They don't have family around. But this woman has enough going for herself that she wouldn't have to put herself in that situation. So it's all very strange, the outcome.
The two met back in 2021 on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The prosecution has described your relationship with Grace Jabari as tumultuous and abusive. How would you describe that 2-year relationship?
I loved Grace. Our relationship was not healthy, and that began to reveal itself over time.
Why'd you stay?
I was scared. With the red flags, I found that, and I use this word, I said, oh, this is dangerous. This is months before the incident. I should have been brave. I should have said, no, this isn't working, and I should have walked away. And I didn't.
And it seems pretty clear a big source of their conflict was just the way they did things, the mentality. The woman is from a drinking culture and she drinks and nothing was going to make her stop drinking. And Jonathan Majors trying to scold her or make her see things another way, that they need to move in a different way in life because they're supposed to be this team and building this brand. She's just like, yeah, I'm all for the team, but the alcohol stays. That was a serious issue. I'm sure this man was going through a lot of training, and I can't imagine high alcohol consumption was something that he was having in his diet.
Our relationship was, it was not healthy, and that began to reveal itself over time, but there was no abuse.
In court, Jabari claimed she sustained head injuries, but never said how she received them. Entered into evidence these partially redacted text messages from September of 2022. Majors writes, "It's just fake, and I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something." Jabari responds in part, "I will tell the doctor I bumped my head. If I go, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I want to tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you?"
This is literally a nightmare. I don't know what happened. I don't know what injuries you're talking about.
The July incident, 2022, where she says you started throwing things, including a candle. Tell us what happened there.
We were in an argument. I was on the other side of the room, away from her, as I think she testified. And by my bedside table, I did a sweep. And I knocked over my candles. I completely lost my temper in that moment and threw it all on the ground. What she also said is that afterwards I wept and cried in the corner and said I was sorry and this. And I was, and I am.
The prosecution said you allegedly wrote, "I'm a monster, a horrible man not capable of love. I'm killing myself soon. I've already put things in motion." Were you suicidal?
I've been diagnosed with severe depression, and I'm taking the steps needed to alleviate, some of those symptoms, ideations of removing myself.
It all came to a head in March of last year when Jabari and Majors got into a fight, much of it captured on surveillance video and used as evidence in the trial. Jabari testified that it all began when Majors received a text from another woman. He says it read, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you." So let's go back to March 25th for a moment. You and then girlfriend Grace Jabari are in the backseat of a chauffeured car. She sees a text from another woman. Things seem to spiral from there. Yeah. What happened next?
Yeah, the text from another woman. Again, I said at the beginning, I did that. I cop to it. I show her, right? It's in my hand. She grabs it. We scuffle for the phone. I pull the phone back. I receive my injuries. I open the door. I step out. She comes. Then one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I pick her up. I put her back in the car. I'm trying to get rid of her. I'm trying to get away from her. As the video shows, everything calms. We get out. We walk across the street. I escort her across the street. The moment we get across the street, she grabs me. She goes for the phone. I get free of her and I run.
For blocks?
Yeah, for blocks.
Surveillance video also shows Jabari talking to 3 strangers. She testified they offered to get her home. One of the bystanders can be seen speaking to Majors, who gestures for Jabari to get back into the car. He eventually leaves without her and goes to a hotel for the night. Jabari leaves with the bystanders.
She says inside the car, you hit her in the face,
Yeah.
twist her arm behind her back, fracture her middle finger.
Yeah, that did not happen.
What happened?
She went to grab the phone. I held the phone. I pulled the phone back. She came on top of me, squeezed my face, slapped me. That's all I remember.
So she ends up with a 1-inch cut behind her ear.
Laceration, yes, ma'am.
Fractured finger.
Yeah.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew. That would give clarity. That would give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't cause
I have no
them.
question.
That really does go to show that the law cannot protect you against things in relationships. There's a lot of things that happen between people in relationships, and you can get into some legal trouble, some legal hot water, especially when you're dealing with the weaker sex, perceptions of what kind of person you could be. I mean, actually, Jonathan Majors seems like a gentle-natured human being. You never know what's going on behind closed doors, but this didn't happen behind closed doors. The only thing that they have to offer that makes really a strong argument against this man is all captured video and audio. And neither one of them point to him being an aggressive man. People throwing things, knocking down candles, knocking the dishes off the table, kicking cars. People do that kind of stuff, but they don't normally wind up losing their whole career over these kind of incidents that aren't cool, but I don't see how you can consider them major. No pun intended.
But never hit a woman.
Never hit a woman. My hands have never struck a woman, ever. When the actual testimony came, the driver said, she did everything, meaning Grace, he did nothing, referring to myself.
Majors claims Jabari attacked him, ripping his coat, scratching his face and arm. These are photos he says are of his injuries, but were deemed inadmissible in court.
You chose not to take the witness stand. Why?
Yes, ma'am. The driver.
You felt that was compelling enough. He had said enough.
Well, not just the driver. She was doing everything, he was doing nothing. Well, that's what I was going to say. Mr. Majors, did you see any injuries on her? No, I didn't. Clinical experts, the detective I spoke to, all who testified before I did. But after all of that, what was I going to add?
Jonathan, how do you feel right
During
now?
the trial, an audio recording was presented in court by the prosecution of Jonathan Majors and Grace Jabari during an argument.
How dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house? Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama. Barack Obama's wife. My temper, my shit, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man. A great man.
That's another point. The way people interpreted him saying that he is a great man, first of all, they tried to act like in the media that he said something crazy by saying that he was a great man. I mean, that's the way people talk now. I'm a king, I need a queen. Another woman wouldn't bat her eye at him saying that I'm a great man. And actually, I wouldn't bat my eye. I'll be the queen, but just make sure you're doing what you need to do. But making an issue out of the fact that he's trying to aspire not to just only be an entertainer, but he's looking to powerful role models to emulate, like Martin Luther King and Barack Obama. That is who he wants to patternise himself after. And he's basically saying that I need a queen by my side. Of course, he couldn't have cared that much about what color she is because she is a true European. So, come on. I just don't understand how people interpreted that to mean you should be more black. I think it meant that he wants a upstanding, classy, supportive woman. That's what he wants, at least on the surface. That's what he wants to represent. He was trying to build a brand, and the girl was just not about that. Miss Grace Jabari was not about that. She wasn't. And this was the conflict. And he probably never met a female like her. I mean, he said himself that he doesn't have an extensive dating history, or as a young man, he did not have an extensive dating history.
New girlfriend, actress Megan Good, has remained by his side, even present for our interview.
How would you describe your relationship?
She's an angel. She's held me down like a Coretta, you know? I'm so blessed to have her, you know? The relationship is still fresh, but, you know, I think I found her.
Majors' once red-hot career is now seemingly at a standstill.
And how are you feeling?
Moments after the verdict, Marvel Studios dropped him. He was set to play the prominent character Kang in upcoming films.
I am Kang!
But despite the possibility of serving time, Majors believes the script for his career is still being written.
You think you'll ever work in Hollywood again?
Yeah, I do. I pray I do. But it's God's plan and God's timing.
For those who say, look, he's convicted at this point, what would you say? I mean, do you deserve a second chance?
Well, I think I do.
I don't know if Megan Good is going to be his partner for life, but she sure is giving him a lot of support right now, which he needs. And I think that his fans are going to welcome him back. Actually, it seems like the fans want to see him win right now and get through this dark episode in his life as fast as possible. But yeah, that's my reaction. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Ooh, Jonathan, be well, be well. Until I see y'all the next time, keep living your life like it's golden. Peace.